Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show, live Q&A. I'm your host, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. First of all, I just want to commend everyone. I want to commend you for coming down to planet Earth, okay? Because this is the adventure of a lifetime, okay? Isn't it the adventure of a lifetime? You know, I know that this whole COVID thing is more trying than anything else you've ever experienced probably in your life. You might have had more of dramatic things, but not for this type of carrying on. And you can always know when somebody's pulling your chain when it just seems to go on forever, because the reality is somebody's pulling our chain. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things. Now, today, we only have 10 questions, which is amazing. I'm okay with that. And I will take another 10 live questions if you want to send your questions in live. And if there isn't another 10, then everybody gets off the hook. They get to go home early. What do you think of that? Okay? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if you have questions, you can send them in live. I'll answer the live ones today, and I'll answer the other 10 as well. But what I'd like to do right now is I want to talk about something. Patience and anxiety. You know, you have either one or you have the other. You either have patience for yourself or you're anxious. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, we have been taught to have no patience for ourselves. And if you do not have much patience for yourselves or for your family or for others, then you are going to end up being a patient forever. Take a look at the people that are suffering the most. Those people do not have a lot of patience for themselves. And there is nothing wrong with these people, okay? These people are highly intelligent people. You know, it's the craziest thing, but one person is going to have a beautiful life and another person is going to have a life that is full of drama, trauma, and experiences that I wouldn't want. And I know I've had them, but the reality is, it's all about our belief systems. Isn't it the craziest things that the things you listen to, the school you go to, the parents you had, the organizations you belong to, all make and shape you? Because we don't have filters when we come here from 0 to 7. You know, the Jesuits would say, give me a man until he's 7 years old and we will control him forever. Seriously, that's what that's all about. Here's the thing. How much patience do you have for yourself? How much love do you have for yourself? You'll know by how much anxiety you have. The reality is this. It doesn't matter what is on the news today, what somebody says. I really don't care what the government says. I really don't care what Bill Gates says. And I really don't care what all of these people who are supposed to be authority are saying. Because understand something, and I need everybody to get this. It's not about COVID, it's about commerce. This is all about to reset the whole global financial market. And if you really believe it's the COVID, I'm not going to fight with you. You can believe it all day. You can wear your mask. You can do your 6-foot rule. You can go lock yourself down. You can shut your business. You can sanitize till the cows come home. I flew home yesterday from doing a conference, and I want to tell you something. From the time that I walked in the airport until I sat down in my chair, I was offered to sanitize my hands 9 times. Now, up until COVID, wash your hands was a good thing. But the reality is guys, I'm not scared of any of this. You can't catch a virus. Okay? All right? So understand that. And the reality is, this is not about COVID. This is about commerce. And yes, we're going to go into a second lockdown. And we're already preparing for it, aren't we, Sean? You know, they think that they're going to cripple us financially. Well, they're not going to touch me financially because I'm prepared and I am getting ready for the second COVID. And I don't know, just from my gut, it could happen maybe in the first week of January and they could try to lock us down for 4 to 5 months. Let's just say that's my little crystal ball. But the reality is it will be no different than any other year. And guess what? This year has been no different than any other year. And then you're going to tell me, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, guess what? Watch the videos that I put up, because there's a lot more intelligent people speaking on my videos. We've decided to call the one in the morning that's early the Wolfe Report. Right, Sean? So the Wolfe Report is about people that I respect, and you should respect them too, because they're talking science, not foolery. Okay? And I'm talking about foolery. Now, fool me once, but you're never going to fool me twice. Okay? So here's the deal. Do you think that you are capable of minding your own business? Because if you don't want to mind your own business, they're going to mind your business. They're going to take your business. They're going to take your family, for God's sakes. You got to understand something. These guys are so evil, okay? And there's very few of them. They could all fit in one room, and they have manipulated this and strategized this for years. And it doesn't matter. You win. You're right. I'm wrong. Okay? Got it. I'm wrong. But you know what? I'm the guy that's living in the moment, that loves his life no matter what. Right now, we've got smoke coming up from Oregon and from California. You can't even go outside for 5 minutes. You're going to choke. And the reality is, this is the most beautiful day of my life. And you're going to think, what, is he insane? Well, I'd rather be insanely happy than insanely miserable, like most of the people out there. And the reality is nobody's going to tell me to shut down my business. I am not shutting my business for nobody. And I am going to be here for all of my patients, and I am going to answer their phone calls, and I'm going to support them. And understand something. In the next 4 months, we're bringing out 5 master classes that if people do these classes, they're going to know that they were screwed. They were ruled, schooled, and fooled, okay? And this is the whole reality. So remember something. Fear is the only true virus. And yes, fear can jump 6 feet. It can jump 600 miles. It can jump all the way around the world if you decide to watch CNN or anything like that. But the reality is this. You can't scare me. You can't bully me. You can't scare me. You can't bully me. You can't anything me. Okay? And that's it right there. We're talking about a few big bullies that have lots of money, and because people have poverty consciousness and they're worried that they won't be able to feed their family, or they might get kicked out of their home, or what do you think is going to happen? They're going to lock you in jail, or they're going to shoot you, or something like that? I mean, the worst thing that you could do is maybe send your kids to school right now, because you may not get them back. Because I'll tell you something right now, the 5G, and if somebody even has a sniffle in school and they shut the school down, good luck. I just played a video, okay, from Sweden, from a beautiful mother, and she was talking about her situation over there and how Sweden didn't lock down, but now if they're going to use their schools to lock down children, and parents aren't allowed to come in the schools to even say goodbye to their schools goodbye to their children on the first day of school. So you have to understand something. This is just bullying, guys. And if you don't get this is not for the greater good. And if anybody even says to me the greater good, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You are the greater good. And when you're ready and willing to love yourself unconditionally. I said something on one of my one-a-days, and I said that we got to get rid of sinner syndrome. And somebody came on there and said, well, we are sinners. And if we're not guilty, then we never learn. And I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that. I truly believe that when we make a mistake, if we choose to learn from that, we grow. And if you believe and have been taught that if you do something wrong, that you punish yourself for a day. When you do this, 10 days. When you do this, it's 10 months. And this, it's 10 years. And that's a life sentence. So the reality is, depending on who raised you, okay, or who programmed you, let's just say what it is. I was programmed by my parents. God love them. And I love my parents so much. And I can't believe the torture. My mother, she was raped by her father. They lived in Newfoundland. They didn't even have a bathroom. Her mother died when she was 12 years old, had to raise her sister who was 8 years old. He raped her continually. He was a mean alcoholic. And then she married my father. He was a carpenter who was a part-time pastor. And, he couldn't wait to be with Jesus. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the reality is, why can't we be here right now? Why can't we be here right now and get our power back? because you can only be powerful in the present moment. You can't be powerful in the future. You can't be powerful in the past. And every time you think about something in the past that you did, you're releasing the same damaging chemicals and hormones, and you're destroying yourself. So how much do you want to destroy yourself from your past? And how much do you want to worry about your future? And then you're going, oh, I just want to live. I just want to live. But meanwhile, you're not living because you're not in the present moment. So if you're not connected to your breathing, and this is why I want you to take a look at my 4 pillars, which is in my perfect day: the lion heart breathing. Look at doing the mirror work. Look at doing the couples connection or the personal connection. And look at getting yourself some Braveheart love bands, okay? Because you can snap this to snap yourself back to the present moment. This is a kiss. This is a hug. And guess what? There's a new sheriff in town called I Got This. And I'm going to mind my own business. And I'm going to be the light for my family. And that is all there is. There's nothing else. Okay, these guys need to go to jail. They probably never will, but because throughout history, okay, you are protected. If you're in government or you're a multi-billionaire, you're protected, right? Now, be the average citizen and do something wrong like jaywalking, and you could end up in jail. Now, the reality is, as soon as all us little people decide to realize that we are infinite light energy beings, and that what we focus on, we create, and nothing else but that. You wanted COVID over today, it would be over today. You want to play into COVID, the end of the world's coming, well, that's going to come too. Anyways, don't care, don't want to fight, don't want to bicker with you, love you all to heck, and that's it. I really, truly do, but I'm not fighting with you. Everything I've said, if you don't agree with it, that's fine, but don't banter at me. Okay, I'm not bantering at you, and you have a choice to just go and switch me off right now, go to another Facebook posting, or just get off, or you can go and get off of YouTube or do whatever you think you need to do. But the reality is there's always going to be somebody that has beliefs that are going to be different than yours. And understand something. The beliefs I have for you, how dangerous are they? Yes, I'm really dangerous. I'm telling you to love yourself unconditionally, mind your own business. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that you're bigger than a virus. I'm trying to tell you that you can't catch a virus. I'm trying to tell you, yes, they probably mutated the thing. I'm going to tell you that people are going to continually pass away because people do not know how to think properly, eat properly, drink properly, treat themselves properly or their family until they learn that love is a self-serve job and healthcare is called self-care, and that's the only healthcare. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I got that off my chest. I feel a lot better. The reality is this. Are you able to live with yourself? How much do you love yourself? How much do you care for yourself? Let's find out. And are you willing to protect yourself from yourself? Because that's what the only enemy you have is in your brain. And if you're not willing to change your personality, to change your reality and retrain your brain, then understand something. You'll be on the pain train forever. It's just like this. And you need to get this. People don't understand that swelling is a healing thing. They don't understand that you might bruise when you're healing, when you do clapping or Wolfe Non-Surgical, but you already had the bruise in you, which was the contaminated tissue. People don't understand that a fever is a healing crisis. Let's kill all the fevers. People don't understand that when they have a night sweat, it's because they've got the burner on high and you're boiling over. The reality is this, is I'm right. And I will challenge any doctor to come on and challenge my beliefs on health, not political beliefs. I don't really have any political beliefs. I only got one belief. Leave my friends alone. Leave my family alone. And that's the whole earth, the whole planet Earth. Just leave us alone. Okay? And let us live our lives and stop trying to scare everybody and do scare tactics. All right? Let's stand up for each other. Okay? And understand something. Let's not nitpick. Okay, it's actually, there's enough food, there's enough water, there's enough air, and there's enough money to go around for everybody. And understand this, there's so much corruption. I got to tell you, it goes right to the top. My country's no better than United States or any other country. All right, they're all owned, ruled, schooled, and fooled. So, but you don't have to be. You have a choice right now to live in the present moment, connect to your breath, and say, I got this. I got this, because the illusion is what's killing you. Stop making it up. You've got enough food. You've got enough air. You've got all the love in the world if you want to start loving yourself, because that's where it's got to start. All right. So send in your questions if you want. Let me see what we got here. We've got 3, so we'll take 7 more. Okay. And while the questions are coming in, you can send your questions in on Facebook, YouTube, Intercom, and first come, first serve. Just know that I'm putting all my videos up on Telegram. We're just getting our groove on that. And the reason why we're doing that is because let's keep free speech alive, okay? All right? And on Telegram, I can put everything up there. And eventually, I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff on Telegram that I don't put up anywhere else because I'm not really interested in being kicked off any platform. So you know what? We'll play along, but understand there isn't freedom of speech, okay? You know, if I wanted to get on there and start lying about how good vaccinations are and mercury is, and lying about how COVID is real and it's taking down the planet, I could say all this stuff and lie my pants off all day long on any platform and nobody would bother me. Isn't that something? So, you know, don't tell me what is and what is not, and understand something. Every time that you believe in a belief that takes away your power, it's a lie. All right. So just letting you know that we are working on major things right now, everybody. As of October the 17th, we're going to be launching what's called Turning Point. Do you want to know something? People can say it, but I can actually say it. Are you ready for this? It is the most powerful webinar series the world has ever seen. The most powerful speakers in emotional, nutritional, detox, science, you name it, they're all coming. Think about the most powerful people you know of what I just said, and the chances are they're going to be speaking. I'm going to be interviewing all of these people, and you'll get to hear about what they're going to talk about, what their values are, but understand something. This is the turning point. When do you want to have the turning point in your life? Be that turning point, okay? All right, our upcoming shows, Wednesday, September the 16th, will be cancer and the ion connection. Cancer and the calcium ion connection. The calcium ion connection, part 1. Okay, and then on Thursday, September the 17th, then we will have part 2. It is a 2-part series on, okay, calcium ions and cancer. And wait till you hear this information if you want something mind-blowing. I believe this to be the biggest nutritional breakthrough in the last 75 years. I truly do. And also on Thursday, everyone, the 17th, at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are kicking off the Advanced Water Fasting Challenge, and that is day 1. It will run for 6 days. So on Thursday and Friday, I will be on at 10 a.m. and then Monday and Tuesday at 10 a.m. to help everybody with their water fast. Whether you want to do the Advanced Water Fast for 1 day or you want to do it for 10 days, I'm there to support you. And even after the 6th day is over, if you want to call me, I'm going to support you, because guess what? Unleash your power to heal. Unleash autophagy, which is going in and eating up the dead and dying cells that you want to replace with new ones. Unleash, okay, your stem cells to renew your body. Unleash the power of your mind and understand that, guess what? You could cut out 60 to 70% of all the food you eat and you'd be healthier. Okay, we're eating ourselves to death. Understand that. Okay, so let's keep going here. So also what we'll be doing the following Wednesday, we'll be having arthritis and the calcium ion connection. All right, so those are the things that are coming up. Just know this: if you're interested in having a personal treatment and training where we fly to you or you come to us, we will teach you on everything that you need to know to unleash the practitioner from within and help to heal yourself and your family. Check out our personal treatment and training guide on our library. Just click on library on docofdetox.com. January the 9th, okay, Kelowna, we will be doing our next combined certification course. Understand, we only have 12 in a course, guys. 12. And that comes with the whole life coach. And then with the actual non-surgical training, okay, which is the most powerful body work in the world, we only take 10 people. We keep our classes small because we keep our training strong, okay? January the 18th will be the first whole life coach online certification. So you'll see information up there in a few days, okay? And then we will be in Extapa, and we will be doing what we call the combined certification. Plus, we will be staying even longer for those who want to stay an extra 12 days, and it's called the 33-Day Awakening, where we will do the whole life coach certification, the Wolfe Non-Surgical training, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about how to care for really chronic patients, and we'll be going deeper into the emotional aspect of disease, okay? And that will be in Extapa, Mexico in March. All right, let's begin the show. And I want to thank you for being with me. And, you know, in doing these shows, and even on my Facebook and Instagram or whatever I do, you're always walking a fine line. How do I awaken the person to their beautiful potential without upsetting them? Well, I never seem to not upset somebody. You know, I want to thank everybody that leaves nice posts, and I really don't want any more FUs on Facebook. So if you really feel that way about me, I don't mind if you want to say that to me, okay? But I really don't want the other beautiful friends and family and other people that are just joining us have to listen to you, okay? The reality is, I don't know why we think we have to bicker with each other, okay? The reality is you're allowed to believe that you need to do whatever you need to do, and I'm not going to judge that. The reality is guess what? Let's see if we cannot be nasty. And the reality is I understand if you feel nasty. You just want to get it off your chest. You might want to connect to your breath. You might want to maybe go for a run. You might want to do some exercise. You might want to just try to see if you can meditate, contemplate. But the reality is the fight is not with me, and my fight is not with you, okay? The fight usually is inside of ourselves to get rid of the dysfunctional beliefs that we don't even know we're running. Isn't that something, okay? So you know what? Your success is determined by your beliefs. Your failures are determined by your beliefs. Guess what? Your beliefs are determined by your beliefs. So what you focus on the most, you shall become. All right. Kim, would SAC calcium balance blood pressure? Definitely. Yeah, it definitely would. Now, the other thing is that why do we have, okay, high or low blood pressure? Well, high blood pressure is caused because you actually have scar tissue around the heart. Take a look at people who have high blood pressure problems all the time. You'll find out that anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to even as high as 1.5 inches, their left side, even though they're right-handed, will actually be higher, and you'll feel this hard fist all around. Also, they will have more displaced calcium and more scar tissue and crystallization actually within the heart tissue. Okay? So that's where high blood pressure can come from. Now, low blood pressure, okay, can come. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only cause, because I really believe that emotional, what you think really matters, and what comes out of you really matters. And the problem is, if you take a look at most people with high blood pressure, they've got a cork and they need to get out of their butt because their bowels aren't moving enough. And when you stop the flow, and when you have a physical block, then energy keeps forcing up against that block, and that creates pressure. I hope that sounds logical. Now, with low blood pressure, you're going to find people that they have blocks in their kidneys, their liver, their bowel, okay? And they have more blocks throughout their body. And if you just think of it this way, if I had a bunch of dams, beaver dams, and they were along a river, would that slow up the water? It'd slow up the flow of the water everywhere, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's what it's doing. All these dams are going to slow the flow. So understand, SAC calcium is the only calcium in the world that is ionic calcium. Now, when somebody says they sell ionic calcium, they don't. Okay, they're saying they sell a smaller molecule of calcium, and that's not calciums of ion. Okay, so so the ions of calcium are actually invisible to the eye. That's how small they are. So when you actually do SAC calcium and you put that into your drinking water, you have to drink it because within 30 minutes, those ions are gone. The little bit of material you see in the water would be selenium and a little bit of calcium. That's not what's the healing power. If you go to PubMed, and you go into PubMed, which is Certified Publications and Research, you'll see in there that even as back far as 100 years, they actually show in studies, and they say, wow, if somebody could actually invent where they could actually get the ion off the calcium, we could reverse almost every illness on the planet. Well, guess what? Somebody has done that. So that's been done. And that's why SAC calcium is so powerful. And if you want, like I said, Wednesday night and Thursday night, part 1 and part 2 of calcium ions in cancer. Wendy, with continuous use of SAC calcium, will bone spurs disappear on their own without Wolfe Non-Surgical? Let's put it this way. Yes. But it depends on how bad the bone spurs are. And remember, a bone spur is just displaced calcium that was pulled from a certain part of your body. And when you take SAC calcium, it actually takes the calcium back into the area which it's been pulled out of. But here's the deal. What if I were to teach you how to clap, okay, and chip and pat that bone spur so that you could even help start to dissolve it even quicker? All right. And understand, Wolfe Non-Surgical is the fastest way. And everybody, if you want to know what Wolfe Non-Surgical is, then go to my A to Z Wellness Masterclass in my library. Click on there and you can have it for free. And then go read from page 3 to 50 and then unleash the power to actually heal yourself. Okay, let's keep moving. Elias. Hi, Doc. I have gout that is killing me. So get this, everyone. Gout is like having little broken shards of glass in your foot. And usually you'll find that in the big toe, okay? And usually that can be caused from things like what? Alcohol. And even a lot of, I know somebody who sets it off with ice cream, okay? But the reality is it's a highly acidic diet that creates a lot of lactic uric acid crystals, displaced calcium, that actually settle in the bottom of the feet because the circulation is so bad. And then when you walk, how would it feel? Or when you move your toe, because your toes move, of course, when you're walking, the joints move, how would it feel to have these shards of glass poking up into the nerves? Well, the pain is excruciating. This is killing me. Any recommendations or help you could help me with? Well, here's the deal. When you've got the gout, okay, you can do things to actually help that gout. And what can you do? Well, you could use things like Pain Away essential oil or Muscle Restore on the area. But the biggest reality is you got to bring the fire down. Remember that pain is caused from inflammation. Inflammation is caused from infection. So where's that infection coming from? I would get on, if it was me, I'd get on curcumin cayenne 5000, and I would get on cardigan, which is an SAC calcium. And I would do cardigan. You could do Merigen if you wanted. That's the strongest one. It's also the most expensive. But you can do cardigan, and that's going to bring it down pretty fast, along with the curcumin cayenne 5000. I would also be drinking structured water and enough water. Everybody thinks they drink enough water, but they don't. I'd be on a whole plant-based diet. I don't believe in vegetarianism. I know a lot of vegetarians that are really ill, and they're going to stay ill, because being a vegetarian doesn't mean you're ill. Having a whole plant-based diet means that you're not ill, especially if it's organic, especially if it's fresh. So it's all about life, right? It's all about vibration. It's all about light energy, light frequency energy coming into the body, okay? And I would be, if I were you too, I would be doing, with the gout, I'd be on daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love, Black Gold, really reduce that. And if you want to reduce it really fast, even though we're talking about at the other end of your body, if you were to actually do coffee enemas, boom. If you do the things I just said, you're going to bring down the fire and you're going to turn this around. And then once the gout's gone, then I would suggest that you go in, okay? You go in with your clapper. This is a Doc of Detox clapper. And I'll be doing the clapping class, guys. We're only 3 weeks away. We truly are. Hey, we're about 3 weeks away from launching that. So I don't know where I'm going to launch yet, because there's a lot of things that we have to put up for people. But the reality is when I'm going to be releasing first How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two, what every parent should know. And we know what that is, right? Number two. And that will be going up. And when that goes up, it'll be going up for 6 nights, actually. There'll be 2 half-hour slots each night for about 6 nights. That's going to go up, and then it's going to go into the library. So if you want it, you'll have to go into the library if you don't watch that. And then the clapping, too. We will have 6 or 7 master classes for you by the time January comes, and it'll be the biggest library with massive take-action, personal master classes. Nobody else has ever done this, and you're going to be able to come in there and then feast away and really unleash your potential on an emotional and physical level. Okay? Mark, do you have a list of attorneys who would listen to a case about an employer discriminating against an employee on the basis of not wearing a mask? I've been forced into leave without pay for 5 weeks now, and I'm not wearing a mask is what disqualifies me for unemployment. Well, you have to understand something. I feel for you. You have no idea. Your courage and everything. But you know what? I think that if you have to wear a mask right now, you can voice your opinion. But the reality, I hope that you don't have to feed your family and things of that nature. But the reality is the government is not owned by you, my friend. The government is owned by the same people that are telling us that we need a second lockdown. I mean, come on, Bill Gates comes on and goes, you think the first pandemic was something. Wait till you see this one. Are we like, is this some kind of a movie? What was that guy's name? What was his name? You know, the guy who used to do the comedy, the evil guy with the finger. Mike Myers. This is a Mike Myers movie, or what the heck is this? It really feels like it. So the reality is for me, I really need to keep it on that level pretty light, right? You know, I wore like a bandana thing to because there's no way I was going to fly home and I wasn't going to walk home. But the reality is this: everybody knows how I feel, and I make my point known. But you know, the thing is I can't help you out there, okay? And that's because there's too many people that have bought into the masks. I mean, if people actually did their homework and they actually did their science, we wouldn't have all these people wearing masks, and then people would say, well, it's up to you then. But, you know, majority rules, even if they're fools, and I'm not calling anybody a fool who has a mask, because you know what? You believe what you believe. And when you have a belief, that's what you believe. So I'm not saying that. For me, I don't believe in masks. So, but the reality is I'm not the one that thinks the world's sick. I'm not the one that now knows that nature is the enemy. I'm not the one that believes the body can't heal. I'm not the one that believes that God created something that can't heal itself or protect itself. All right. Trish, depression is kicking my butt. I can't eat. My legs are stiff and hurt. Well, that's because you've been living, because this dang COVID fear thing, okay, it's taking so many people down. Every time you get stressed out, you're dumping adrenaline, cortisol, and histamines. They crystallize. And because your circulation isn't good enough to get rid of it, and you're not exercising enough, and you're not eating properly, too many carbs, too much sugar, too much dairy, too much processed foods, the crystallization is crystallizing in your feet. Just like this other person who has the gout, you're crystallizing in your legs, okay? And so, and you're creating scar tissue in there. And I like to, what I call that is I call that the stump disease. And actually, we have people that come here that have been crystallizing so bad, okay, that they do. Their lower legs are like stumps, and we have to go in there and pull the fibers apart to heat up the area and to teach them about clapping and then diet. But eventually, you can turn those legs around. Okay, my legs are stiff and hurt, and when I eat, I am full after a few bites. Well, that's because you're also constipated. You will get really full fast when you're bloated. So when you're full of gas, that means your bacteria, which should be 85% good bacteria, 15% bad bacteria, get reversed. So now you've got 85% bad bacteria and 15% good. Did you know that it's like 95% of the population has 85% bad bacteria and 15% good? Isn't that something? And then we're wondering why North Americans are the sickest country in the world. Isn't that something? We can be so proud. But we also eat 62%, around 50 to 62%, depending on what area you go in North America, of all the prescription drugs made in the world. So, we have emotional problems. We have issues in our tissues because we can't deal with the issues in our mind, because we've been taught that pain is our enemy when actually it's a GPS. If you were to know that pain is a friend saying, I love you, but you're off track, could you just connect to your breath? Could you just shop better, smarter? Could you just love yourself more? Could you maybe think about having maybe 2-3 bowel movements a day for the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks because you're backing up so much? So the reality is that we're going to get full, and we're going to get full fast because your body's saying, look, if you can't get out what's actually putrefying and rotting in your lower abdomen, then I'm going to shut your appetite off and you're not going to be able to eat properly. Okay? All right. Ben, hi, Darrell. I have a close friend who I love with all my heart. She has relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis. Definition, relapsing MS with periods of remission in between. I'll do anything if you can help. She is living in a bubble due to what's going on in the world at the moment. Can you please help me help her? Well, first of all, whether you want to believe this or not, here we go again. Dr. Wolfe headed up his butt. The main problem with MS is the bowel. So that's the first place you got to start. And I truly believe that you can totally reverse MS, and I really do. That's my belief. I'm allowed to have my beliefs. I didn't promise a cure, because the cure can only be you, and the cure can only be found in your beliefs. And if you don't believe that you can heal yourself, you're not going to. And if you believe that you're an unworthy person, or that you don't deserve all the best in life, then you're not going to have it. So whether it's your health, your wealth, or love, or anything else, I'll do anything for her because she is a beautiful person that deserves better. So here's the deal. So I'm going to say this, and I mean it. So here's the deal. She's a beautiful person. She is a beautiful spirit. I can feel her. I can pick up on her. But the reality is that she doesn't believe she is. And the reality is she believes that she needs to get her love from everyone else. And she doesn't respect herself enough to look after herself. And that's the problem. Whether you want to believe this or not, society teaches you to kill yourself. Society teaches you to kill yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough. What do I deserve? I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. You deserve everything. And that's the whole deal. And you're allowed to. And people look at me and they go, well, you know what? This whole self-love thing, somebody attacked me yesterday because I said there's only major 2 emotions, and one is self-hate, one self-love, and everything falls underneath. And the reality is people miss my point. The reality is if you've never, ever loved yourself or filled up your own heart, then you're always trying to do for others because they have to give you their love to put in your heart, because love is like oxygen. Nobody can live without it. And people die of a broken heart, don't they? That's right. People die of a broken heart. And that's why heart attacks are the main killer, second to cancer or first to cancer, because they jockey for positions every year. But the reality is we die of a broken heart. Okay, because we were taught that if we did enough, loved people enough, that they would respond and our heart would be always filled. Society teaches it's going to care for you and love you. Well, it can't. That is all a self-serving job. Just love yourself well and shine that light on the world. Sharon, do you have any advice for my aunt who has, with the MS person, you give me a call and you'll see within weeks, we'll see changes in her. But we've got to have somebody, because I just want to say this, please don't get me wrong, but if somebody has a chronic illness for more than 9 months, it becomes a friend of me, a friend of me, a friend of me, okay? So it's a friend of me, so get it, okay? My cane is a friend of me. My walker is a friend of me. My Depends are a friend of me. My drugs are a friend of me. Why are they a friend of me? Well, because my drugs help me get rid of the pain. But then guess what? Now I'm numbed out. Now I'm even sicker. Now I have to take stronger drugs. From there, I had to have surgery. From the surgery, it caused scar tissue and inflammation. Then I had to have stronger drugs. And now I'm going back in for surgery. So the day that you truly want to love yourself, love yourself. I don't care how much my family loves me. If I don't love myself, it's over. It's game over on this planet. And I'm telling you right now that if I could get everybody to love themselves 100% right now, they wouldn't put a mask on because they'd vibrate with the same type of light as Jesus and Buddha. I didn't say they were like Jesus and Buddha. I said their light would shine like Jesus and Buddha. And because when you bring up your vibration, you bring up your immune system. And when you bring your immune system up higher than a virus, nothing can touch you. And that's the deal. So yes, your friend with the MS, we need to let her know that if she takes massive personal action and she does not listen to the dysfunctional beliefs that make her feel that she does not deserve, we got this. We got this. That's that. Okay? Sharon, do you have any advice for my aunt who has stage 4 melanoma? Well, okay, so she's got some type of skin cancer, right? And the reality is, yes, I do. And she can give me a call. But she can take a look at Super Silver, and she can take a look at Super Silver, and she can take a look at frankincense, and she could be putting that on the melanoma. But understand something, the melanoma is not caused from the sun. It's not from getting sun. What happens when you go into the sun, you sweat. And when you sweat and you've got the sun and the sweating, it's the toxins that come out. You know, if that was true, then we'd all have skin cancer. You know what? It's like this. Your skin is the mirror of your large intestine. It is. That's the deal. Like it or not, your skin is the mirror of your large intestine, and that's the reality. Okay? So we got to fix up the large intestine. We got to get this person hopefully doing the ultimate coffee enema. If they don't want to, we could just got to work on the large intestine. Maybe use daily cleansing tea. Tell me love black gold. And then let's get them on a whole plant-based diet. And for the first time, let's get her drinking structured water and enough of it. And then if it was me with the melanoma, I'd get rid of it. I know how to get rid of it. And I would also start doing clapping on the body. I'd be doing salt glows. I'd be doing skin brushing, anything that brings the skin back to life and detoxifies. So has anybody talked to her about detoxification? I don't think so. So the reality is, what are we going to do? Just sit there and wait? Oh, yeah, I'll just keep an eye on that for you. For what? Keep an eye on it until it's big enough. We do surgery. Keep an eye on it for what? They think it's going to go away. If you don't change your personality, which means you change your day with the things you do, then why would you ever change your body? Your body doesn't change until you change. So you got to make some changes in your day. So what are you going to do that's different, that's going to reduce the toxic level in the body, that it says that we will no longer have melanoma? So you can call if you want, extension 5. We'll do whatever we can for her, and but what she can do for herself is everything. Okay? I keep telling everyone, you know, when you have things like this, you know, you can pay $125 and get a consult from us. Just go to docofdetox.com, click on consultations, pick the consultant that you want, and guess what? We give you a money-back guarantee on this. What else do you want? And the reality is you're going to fill out the forms. I'm going to go through it with the consultant, right? And then you get lifetime calling with us. And now we've created a template. Hey, listen, let me just say this. Oh, did you not get this, guys? Did you ever see what happens when you actually strategize something? Well, look at this. They strategized COVID for the last probably 40, 50 years, and now they're pulling it off, and it's really easy. They're going to have us do a second lockdown, and they already know that COVID is going to attack us again. Why? Because they have a crystal ball. They're that intelligent. Meanwhile, science, and real medical doctors and people really in the know say the whole thing's a fraud. But the reality is if you can create a strategy so powerful, you could fool the whole world and make them think it's something and then take all their money away from them and then actually put them into slavery. So the reality is, all I'm asking for you to do is create the perfect day. Why don't you strategize the perfect day from the minute you wake up till you go to bed on loving and caring for yourself, and find out what happens. Find out how you are so powerful that you can unleash the practitioner from within. Okay? All right. So Check out, and if you don't want to do that, check out my library and go to the Perfect Day Guide. Go to page 28 where you'll see about the 4 pillars on how to love yourself to start. And then go to page 30, which is the Perfect Day Diet, and look at the diet. And then even why don't you join us for the advanced water fasting and sit on the sidelines if you want and find out that I'm not really scary. You know, when people attack me, I have to, and they don't mean to attack me. It's just that they feel I've attacked their beliefs. So understand something. That's what happens. When our beliefs don't match someone else's, we feel attacked. And the reality is there's always going to be people with different beliefs. Ask yourself when you see a new belief, because your subconscious is going to say, get it out of here. It doesn't match what you believe. Don't let it do that to you. Say, will this belief enhance my life? Will this belief create more happiness and joy? Will it make me healthier? That's all you got to ask. Don't listen to your subconscious. If you're sick right now, then you're sick in your mind. I didn't say you were a sicko. I said you were sick in your mind. You have some beliefs that are really sick, because you got to be, the invisible creates the physical. Otherwise, invisible being the beliefs created your physical condition. So understand, the condition you're in is more important than the condition you have. And if you can get this and understand that you were taught to actually create a condition that's called a disease, and it's actually just a symptom of not knowing how to care and love for yourself properly yet. And that's all I want to give you or show you. Okay? Lou, I'm having pains under my left breast. What could it be? My heart? No, because your heart's up here. Okay? Under your left breast. You know what? It all depends. Did you wear a bra that have a steel wire in it? Because that's usually the problem. So why didn't it happen on this side? I don't know, because of the angle, maybe the way you moved, but it's probably that. Or it could be actually, maybe you fractured your rib at one time. Maybe there's just a knot. Can you believe it? Just a knot of scar tissue in between the rib, and it would take me 2 to 3 minutes to get rid of it. Now, you could get rid of it on your own if you watch how to do the patting and the clapping. Understand something. All I want for everyone is to take control. You know, either do patting and clapping, do belly button therapy that'll release 70% of your serotonin, 50% of your dopamine. Do skin brushing, do salt glows, do pelvic activation squats. Okay, do pelvic enhancer. All right? Let's put it this way. I want you to take a look at your life and tell me, have you taken massive personal action to tell your body that you love it and that you respect it, because it's your vehicle while you're here? Okay? So anyways, give me a call, and if you want, Lou, we can talk about it, maybe more, and I'll be able to figure out exactly what that is. Okay? But understand, it's nothing that can't be turned around. But guess what? As long as that knot's there, as long as it's near your breast, because breast cancer is rammed down everybody's throat, and everybody thinks it's genetic, but it's not. It's epigenetic. Get that. Disease is epigenetic. It's from up above. It is not genetic. They did what's called the Genome Project. It was a complete fail, and they found out that cancer is not genetic. Okay? There is such a small incidence of it, so tiny, it's almost not even worth mentioning. And understand something. Epigenetic can change any genetic anyways. Okay? All right? Because both of my parents, they both passed away before 55. Okay? Both of cancer. All right? My father had leukemia. We got rid of it 3 times. Actually, no, we got rid of it twice. The 3rd time it took him. And he would not change. Okay? My mother smoked McDonald menthol cigarettes, 5-star whiskey, and she hated herself because of the people that raised her created that within her. And nobody could tap into it. And I didn't realize what she had. I was too young to know. All right? But you know what? I always knew there was something going on between my mother and my grandfather. I couldn't believe how nasty he was to her. And she was always trying to get his love. Always trying to prove that she was worthy. And meanwhile, look what he did to her. There are so many people out there that are being physically and emotionally abused. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. Okay? and you might feel alone. And this all has to stop. And these same people, whether you want to believe it or not, that are orchestrating this COVID, wait till things come out about them and you watch how evil they are and how they're predators. Oh, you don't feel like we're being preyed on? Okay. All right. And remember something, whether people like it or not, I'm allowed to speak, okay? I'm allowed to speak just as much as anybody else in government or anybody that has multi-billions of dollars, and so are you. We are all God's children. And don't ever forget that. And I have to believe, because I do believe, and I have faith. I have faith in you too. Do you have faith in you? Because I do. I truly do. Heather, my skin feels like sandpaper around my hairline, mostly, and down my neck, chest, back. It's not acne. They are just tiny bumps. Also not a rash. I feel like I'm detoxifying, but I'm wondering how long it will take to clear up. Well, first of all, I started the Detox, the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold. Thank you. It's really going to work with that, but I'd actually start getting into some skin brushing. Let's do things that aren't expensive. Let's do some skin brushing, right? This is a bristle brush. Get in there and do some really good skin brushing. Skin brush the whole scalp. And when you do it, just take it like this and vibrate it like that, okay? But I would also clap my scalp area, and I would also clap even the bump area. And I would lightly skin brush it, okay? And then you can also use what's called, hold on one second. You can also use Pain Away fulvic spray, okay, on the area. I would spray that a fair bit. And I would also put on that area, I would put on maybe, depending how sensitive you are, I would either use tea tree oil and silver bullet gel. Okay, so if you can remember that, I don't want to pull out the products. Tea tree oil and silver bullet gel. And if it's more sensitive, then use lavender and silver bullet gel and keep putting it on the area. You're going to get rid of it. So, but understand this, it's your skin. So we know that your bowel is responsible. And understand something, your bowel is responsible for like 95 or more % of every illness you ever have. If you didn't leak waste into your body, which you do in your large intestine, nowhere else, then how would you ever get the infection in there to create the inflammation, to create the problem, whether it's in your toe or at the end of your nose? I mean, you guys got to get this. When I do the how to become number one at the art of number two, there'll be no questions. There'll be no questions after this masterclass, which is going up in 3 weeks, right? It's 3 weeks. And then right after that, clapping's going up, isn't it? So we've got like 2 masterclasses coming for you before Christmas, and another one called I Am Woman. And I know I'm not a woman, so don't think I'm trying to be arrogant about this. But the reality is I'm going to share the information that I do have from working with women. And women, believe it or not, are 92% of my clientele, and they've been that way for the last 40 years. So I've learned some things. So don't think I'm trying to be arrogant, because I know that a woman only knows a woman really well. But coming from a man's point of view, I want to share that, because you know what? There's some stories I need to tell, and I know that I can help some women get out of hell. How's that? Okay? Because of the things I've learned. All right? Tanya, what protein powder do you recommend? I would recommend a sprouted organic protein powder. A sprouted organic protein powder. That's the one that I would recommend. Vonda, hi from New Zealand. I have cataracts come on really quickly within a year. Well, guess what, Miss Blue Light Queen? Understand, blue light, okay, here's what, I should wear these right now for the rest of the time. I hope you don't mind, everyone. So these are called Tesla glasses. This is not a marketing sales pitch. There's only one pair like this in the world. They're invented by Tesla. They're fluorine lenses. They take blue light, and they take all types of any type of EMF, 5G, 4G frequencies. All the frequencies that hit these glasses get not blocked like blue blockers, because that's crazy. Oh, wear blue blockers at this time of the day. Wear blue blockers at this time of the day. And then wear these ones. No. These you can wear anytime. You can wear them as sunglasses, And the reality is they take all negative frequencies and blue light and turn it into healing light to actually heal your eyes and your brain. And you wouldn't have cataracts if you didn't burn your brain. Your brain is inflamed. Your brain has scar tissue in it, love. And the reason why you've got cataracts is a blue light poisoning. And that's the God's truth. Blue light poisoning, it's scientifically documented. You need to get Tesla glasses, silver bullet spray, and fulvic eye drops. We're the only ones in the world with fulvic eye drops. You start using the fulvic eye drops, let's say start off with 3 times a day, the silver bullet spray 3 times a day, start wearing the glasses, start clapping right here. Why? It's circulation. And then I also would clap with my clapper on the side because it's easier. And then I would clap my forehead because it's easier with a clapper. But if you want to use your hand, you can. But then you clap over like this over the eye. Okay? Understand something. You will reverse. And it's all about microcirculation. But you've got to stop the blue light poisoning in the brain because it's the brain that caused the cataracts in the first place. All right? Ask any optician and they won't even know what I'm talking about because they're not trained to reverse cataracts. What are they trained to do? Here we go. Let me see what I just did. They're not trained to reverse cataracts. They're only trained to treat a cataract problem, right? And what we do is we teach you how to reverse cataracts, and you can do it. I have a gentleman, and he's 82 years old. He lives in Burnaby. Let me see here. Something's wrong. He lives in Burnaby, BC. And 1 second. I'll just take this off. Now I'm all over the place. Can you help me with this? Boy, you'd think I was dysfunctional, eh? So anyways, let me just try to keep talking here. And he lives in Burnaby, BC. Okay, 1 second. And he's 82, and his cataracts have come down by 60%. How's that? 60%. And that has been over 6 months. Now, you might think, wow, 6 months, that took a while. Yeah, but that stuff just like plastic, everyone. That's like plastic. Okay? So, here we go. Almost normal. Okay, so, and he's used also a bioptron light. So understand that. I'm not going to tell you that it was just that. So he used a bioptron light, and he used silver bullet spray. He used fulvic eye drops, bright eye drops. Okay? And he did the clapping, and he did all those things. And he got on the Perfect Day diet, which you'll find in the Perfect Day guide. Okay? And then now, guess what he's doing? He's 82, and now he's doing advanced water fasting. He's going to be on this water fasting challenge. So just know this. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? How deep does your love go? Does it go deep enough that you're going to put yourself first and foremost for the first time in your life, and you're going to take massive personal action? And guess what? Do you think your family doesn't want you to heal? Do you think your family doesn't want you to feel great? They want the best for you, and understand, but you don't want the best for you. Do you want the best for you? I'm not telling you to buy my products. I'm not telling you to come and see me. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm telling you to take massive personal action, clean out the cupboards, clean out the fridge, clean out your mind, okay, of all of the BS, dysfunctional belief systems that are knocking you down, because you're beautiful. End of story. And just get on this thing. Whatever you want, you can have. You can. First, you got to believe it, though. Okay, that was Vonda from New Zealand. If you want to give me a call, Vonda, you can call me from New Zealand on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 250-801-0133. Or you can call me on FaceTime on that number. Okay, or you can call me on Skype at DOC.OF.DETOX. We are really, truly here to help. I hope you guys get this. The healthier you become, emotionally and physically, together we will change the world. Okay? Luann, how much does it cost to come and stay with you for a week? Well, let's put it this way. It's $150 an hour for the treatments, which is inexpensive for what we do when you come here for a week. You're looking at about 35 hours if you came here to be personally trained and treated. So that means you're going to leave knowing how to do our body work. You're going to leave knowing how to read the body. You're going to leave knowing how to create the perfect day on a nutritional level. The emotional level is with me. So if you want to do that extra training, you can. Now that's 35 hours. Then we have people just coming here for treatment, and they'll come for 2 hours, usually 2 hours of treatment, maximum 3 a day, but usually 2 hours. And they will come for 5 days. So figure it out, $150 an hour. That's it. We are not expensive, okay? What we are is offering you a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment we'll do more for you than any other treatment that you've ever done, or you don't pay us. And that's not a marketing thing. That's just telling you how good our therapy is and how quickly your body will heal when we release the invisible bonds that bind you, which are scar tissue crystallization and calcification, or just dysfunctional beliefs, right? Okay. Why do people get cracked tongues? Well, why do they get cracked tongues? Because they're so acidic and because they're so dehydrated. And if they have cracked tongues, they're starting to get organ problems. Depending on where the crack is in the actual tongue will tell you what organ is in trouble. So we're talking about dehydration. We're talking about highly acidic, okay? And that means that their pH is way down, okay? So that's it. You're cracking up. You're cracking up on an emotional and physical level. And the reality is, if you saw cracks, okay, like if there was this river, had lots of water, and then the water left, and now it's got lots of cracks. What's that, dehydration? Okay, so do you understand? So just think about it like that. So we're not just talking about that. We're talking about malnourishment. Malnourishment meaning lots of toxic foods and not a lot of whole plant-based foods or nutrients going in. Okay. Where is Telegram? Can you get somebody to answer that? So whoever, if this is off of Facebook, tell them where my Telegram is and tell them how to join my Telegram. Okay, we're going to be putting everything on Telegram because you can put videos there and you can put pictures there. And I'm going to start putting pictures up there too. I'm going to share a lot more there than I am Facebook. Charlene, my daughter has been told from the doctor, she is 12 years old, that the pain she suffers from in her knee is due to Osgood Schlatter disease, inflammation of the patellar ligament at the tibial tuberosity. Yeah, that's right. He's not lying. And guess what? Oh, I just love to do this. This is the fun part. Charlene, if you can get here, I'll do it for free and I'll do it live and I'll show that we can reverse that probably in one treatment. How's that? And then we could show you how to go in there and tweak it and then what to use. Like you should be using DMSO on there. I would say a little bit of DMSO gel, more the DMSO rose cream, and then I would be using Muscle Restore, okay, essential oil. And if you do that, plus we teach you how to do the clapping properly, and we go in there and do Wolfe Non-Surgical, boom, it's over, okay? All right, Abram. Oh, and listen, if you want, go to my A to Z Wellness in my library. Click on that. That's a masterclass, guys. I'm giving it to you for free. And go in and take and read from page 3 to 50, and you'll get it. Trust me. I show you the whole domino effect of what's going to happen if she doesn't get on this. And then go watch the video on knee. Now, the reality is in my A to Z Wellness masterclass, guys, you can go watch any body part, and I'll tell you what the medical system does and what we do, and then you can decide what you want to do. How's that? Okay? Abram, hello, Dr. Wolfe. What could be the cause of low blood pressure in a woman in her mid-40s? I already told you earlier, and I'll tell you something right now. Her kidneys are exhausted, her adrenals are exhausted, but her bowel is blocked and her liver is sluggish from all the toxin she's been reabsorbing from her bowels, and I can prove that. So with low blood pressure, you've got blocks throughout different parts of the body, creating too many dams, slowing down the flow. It's not scientific, guys. It's not scientific. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this stuff. And like I said, I'm willing to go on with anybody who wants to come on my show and challenge me on these logical theories. Diane, having difficulty sleeping, feel sleepy, then have to, number one, then feel awake all night. I am taking all your wonderful products. Should I take melatonin? You can, but I would be trying to get sunlight in the morning, okay? And I would do sun gazing first thing when the sun comes up. I would get myself a vitamin D light, and we have the best vitamin D light made. It's around $1,400, but it'll totally saturate the body with vitamin D, and that's the best way to make melatonin. So there you go, with the vitamin D light, not with taking vitamin D, but with the light. And what we have is we have what's called, we take an actual vitamin D light, which is 6 feet tall, long tubes. And what we've done is we've put in it, believe this or not, pure crystal plates. And I'll tell you something, nothing heals like this. This will change chromosome. It'll change RNA, DNA. It will heal mitochondria. Understand something, guys. And we call this crystal light, okay? Energy therapy. And there's nothing like it. So that's something that we put together. That's something that was buried, actually, back in the early 1900s. And it was a major breakthrough. And guess who buried it? Yeah, same people who are orchestrating our COVID. Okay, thank you. All right. Mo, I'd love to do a water fast. However, when I don't... Oh, and the other thing, guys, I just love this part. Somebody said to me, I don't believe in conspiracies. Well, you know what? Just understand something. The CIA came out with the word conspiracy because it was to make everybody look nuts when they started figuring something out about how we were ruled, schooled, and fooled. So the reality is you can advertise anything. So that makes me a quack. It makes everybody else a quack. Meanwhile, the majority of the population are now wearing a mask, and they're getting ready for the second COVID lockdown, right? And we already know that the actual rates of COVID deaths, okay, have been totally exaggerated. Now they're saying it was only 6% of what they said. So the lies never stop, okay? All right. So you can either go ahead and just live in fear and have anxiety, henny penny the sky's going to fall in. I just can't be around people like that. I can't do it. We have to be around courageous people. And we get enough courageous people, we'll take our world back. And then we can help these people that are so freaked out over fear, and we can help them to become courageous again. So I'm not picking on anybody that's full of fear. Understand that. Okay? Understand that. Because birds of a feather flock together. And if a bunch of fearful people are hanging out together, nobody's going to find courage. Mo, I'd love to do a water fast. However, when I don't eat for 3 hours, I get anxious, spacey, and feel awful. How can someone like me ever do a water fast? ATP, right here. So when you do a water fast, do you use structured water? Because I'll tell you something right now, if you're not using structured water hydrates in the body 1,000% better than any other water. Check it out. You just put it under your tap. You just run filtered water through it. Reverse osmosis. Distilled. I don't care. Kangen. Doesn't matter. But even a Kangen unit is not a structured water unit. Structured water can only be created by a natural flow. Cannot be created by electricity. It is not created by a filter. Structured water gets rid of the memory of everybody who ever drank it. Structured water changes the frequency of anything toxic on it. Structured water gives you the lowest surface tension to get your nutrients into your cells and toxins out. How am I doing? If you were to just drink regular filtered water and these other waters, just know this. The energy that it takes could run a 2,500 square foot home for 2 to 3 months, okay? That's how much energy you burn every day if you're not drinking structured water. That's why our ancestors drank rainwater or water that came down fresh off of waterfalls. And that is structured water. And you can tell it's like silk. That's because it has no surface tension. Now, the other thing is ATP. When we do the let me just start here. So when we do the actual water fast, we use Ormus minerals. These are etheric minerals, which means they're high in energy, but they don't turn on your digestive tract, because you don't want to turn on your digestive tract, or what's the sense of having a water fast? So we use Ormus minerals during our advanced water fast. Okay. We also use ATP. ATP, this is the only organic ATP in the world, and we sell it. And it has life crystals in it, and it helps to rebuild your mitochondria, which makes more ATP than any other product that we know of on the planet. And guess what? It tastes sweet, but it bypasses the Krebs cycle, right? So it doesn't turn on your digestion. Okay, and this will supercharge you. This gives you tons of energy. The Ormus mineral gives you tons of energy, and it also helps. The Ormus minerals also help to balance your electrolyte balance. Okay, so you're not going to get dizzy. Fulvic acid does not turn on the digestive tract because the molecular weight of our fulvic acid is so small. Fulvic acid will pick up the nutrients that are locked in the body and help to take them to the cells, dump those off, and then carry away 3 times its weight in acidity and heavy metals and chemicals, so that you don't have to experience the negative symptoms of fasting. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah. Those are the main things. And then for those of you who want to really kick it up a notch, you can use things like Cardigen if you have joint problems, or Merigen if you have a really chronic disease, or you just really feel like you want the best and you want to pull all that calcium back into your bones and have and work towards getting the bone structure of a 30-year-old, and you want to turn on over 100,000 different chemical and hormonal processes that used to run smoothly when you were 30 years old. That's what SEC calcium does. That's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday and Thursday night of this week, and then Wednesday of next week. All right? Yeah. And let's say you went on the fast and you've got like gum problems, teeth problems, okay, or jaw problems, then you're going to do Dentagen. And this is an SAC calcium product. Or if it was a child, Ozo Jr., all right? If you're totally healthy, you would use Megagen. And this is the only calcium product that you should even take daily if you're healthy and you want to keep your bones strong. This is the only one scientifically proven. Okay? And then for those who have memory problems, you can use Alzagen. Okay? Alzagen is for people with memory problems, dementia, Alzheimer's, okay? Autism. All right. Where are we here? So those are the things that you can do. And then when we do our fastings, we do a lot of other things like belly button therapy. We do the clapping. We do the skin brushing. We teach you how to do the ultimate sauna, okay? How to get the best sweat out of a sauna, which I'll be talking about through the fasting when it starts. Yeah, that's about it. And then practicing, guys. You know what? If you had a positive attitude and you kept saying, there's a new sheriff in town called Total Unconditional Love. And you know what? And you said to yourself, you know what? I might get tired, but I have abundant energy. And if you knew how to breathe properly, doing the lion heart breathing, and if you wore a slight smile on your face, your shoulders back, and your chin slightly up, guess what? You'd rock the show. You know what? I'm not telling you I don't get tired, but I don't get exhausted and achy and miserable. I just don't do that anymore. I am the master of my emotions, which makes me the master of my body. Okay? This is the last question. Daria, how to convince my 18-year-old daughter to stay away from birth pills? Any suggestion on natural alternative? Hugs from Sweden. You know what? I don't have an answer. Because, guy, do you want to know something? So I went out with, when I was younger, with girls that would say, you know what? I know how to do the cycle properly, and I follow the moon and my period. And trust me, I never bought into that one either. So, you know, I wore condoms, okay? And I was okay with that. But understand something. Most men are so chauvinistic, they won't put a rain jacket on, you know? They just won't do it, you know? I'm going like this or nothing, man. I'm going commando. That's it, man. You know what? You don't like it? Then you don't love me. So the reality is it's the chauvinistic males out there and their narrow-mindedness. So that's the only answer. I mean, for one thing, anybody that's with a woman should be responsible. Any man that's with a woman, he should be responsible and taking total control. Why is it always up to women? That is the biggest crock right there. So the reality is for her to try to find some guy that loves her so much that it's going to be difficult, because men are not really alert. They're not even awake, okay? Like I was saying on my one-a-day yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was the one I did. What was it called again? Oh, yeah, Monsters, Inc. Okay. When I did that, I actually said, oh, boy. I actually said that, women have to carry the ball, and they shouldn't have to. A man, I can remember when I was a teenager, a guy could go out with a girl every night. And back then, I would think, wow, what a stud. And then if we heard of a girl going out with a different guy every night, she was a slut. So the reality is women have gotten the bad end of the stick, and they usually do, and they still are today. Okay? I'm going to tell you something, guys. That's why I did I Am Woman, the masterclass that I'm going to release. You women, I love you so much. You're so powerful. And men, you know what? They don't like your power. You live longer than us. You can take more pain than us. You bring life into the world. And you actually come here loving and caring for everyone. And men, we have to learn how to do that. But the problem is, most men haven't. And that's why the world's in trouble today. Because men, okay, are very narrow. They're very narrow, okay? They don't mind going to war with somebody they don't even know. Just give me a battle to go to. I want to be a hero. Well, why don't you stay home and be a hero to your girlfriend? Why don't you be a hero to your wife? Why don't you be a hero to your family? And you know what? Let me tell you something. A long time ago, men used to protect the village, go get the food. Now the women do most of the shopping. They do most of the cooking, and they protect the home. What is it that guys do? I'm not really sure. Guys should start doing more research on 5G, blue light, and they should be standing up and saying no to the government, no to people. And they should be going, no, I'm protecting my child. I'm not putting my child in a 5G school. I'm not going to let you lock my child down and keep my child if they get COVID. Where are you guys? I think this is a good place to end it today. Where are you guys? Where are you? Where are you? I really don't know. Like I said, I am so totally amazed by women. You have no idea. Men, let's put it this way. Let's take a look at all the cronies and that are actually orchestrating this COVID thing. They're mainly men, and then there's a few women that are trying to be men. And that's where I'd like to leave it today. God bless. You take care and know something. You are worth everything. And the day that you let everybody know that you're worth everything, they'll stop taking things away from you. Be well. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.